It should be noted that Uganda Airlines was liquidated in 2001, where all operations were with effect stopped. By that time, it was employing about 2,000 employees, yet it had no aircraft to run. One of the two Boeing 707 had crashed in Rome, while the other was declared junk and thus could not run. In effort to save Uganda Airlines, staff were reduced from 2,000 to 400, and new planes were leased to Zimbabwe and Australia, but were not enough to operate on all routes, most especially to Europe. However, as President Museveni looks at possible means of reviving the Uganda Airlines under a private-public partnership arrangement, the chairperson of the Parliamentary Commission on Commission of State Assets and Statutory Enterprises, Abdul Katuntu, with other MPs, are demanding for an audit of what ought to have gone wrong with the defunct national airline before Ugandans are committed to the revival under PPP.
If they are to revive Uganda Airlines, the first thing is to do an audit. What happened? We must stress the history. Indeed, not only Uganda Airlines, but many of these companies that were privatized. We saw most of them, they were sold at peanuts and they just collapsed. Others were resold by the people who bought them at very, very big profit margins. And really, we cannot, as a country, afford to go one step in front, two steps backwards. It doesn't make economic sense. Uganda Airlines had very many assets, and we know where they went. It's public knowledge. So by the time the president took this decision that we need to revive it, he should investigate what happened to Uganda Airlines.
We would wish to see what Uganda is owning, what we are moving with as we enter a new partnership. Because we cannot start from zero. We should be owning something that we are bringing on the table that can raise our bargaining position with whoever is interested in working with us in the PPP.
The legislators are also demanding for the lifting of the veil to unmask the beneficiaries of the liquidation of the airline.
Who is the beneficiary of the sale of Uganda Airlines at that time? Who is the beneficiary? Once we get to that, then we can afford to see whether we can look for resources to invest in the new project of Uganda Airlines.
You should not be worried. This is the way to go. This is the way things are being done. You can't be left behind. And you should not worry because government may not have all the money to revive an airlines. So to have a partnership also adds strength. You combine the spirit of private and the spirit of public. And the product is great. Uganda Airlines should be revived.
Looking at the possible reasons as to why Uganda Airlines collapsed, yet it played an important role in as far as transporting people to and from Uganda was concerned. It has been discovered that at the time it collapsed, government did not realize the importance of a national carrier, and as such, it was not receiving funding, and yet many people, most of whom were recommended by government officials, were being recruited. Government did not realize that having a national carrier would ease the movement of people and goods as well as promoting tourism and tourist inflow to Uganda. This ended up weakening Uganda Airlines until it eventually collapsed in 2001.
It was a very, very big mistake on part of government to privatize what we called strategic companies, especially Uganda Airlines, companies in the energy sector, or a company like Uganda Electricity Board. It was wrong because no country privatizes some of these strategic companies that run strategic areas of the economy. So if he had listened to us, then we would not be at the point we are now.
Over time, these institutions became a drain on Treasury. And Treasury, instead of getting profits, we are now giving subventions. And they didn't, at the time, it was becoming difficult to maintain and become more justifiable to sell them off.
As many people cry for its reinstatement in order to ease transportation of goods and people, as well promoting tourism in Uganda, which has been earmarked by government as an important sector of the economy. The need to revisit agreements under which Uganda Airlines routes were sold off is crucial.
I think we need to evaluate what kind of arrangement, what kind